Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Rob, and we're here with the next step in our journey. I'm gonna be DMing the short campaign called Madame Ricole's Caravan of the Peculiar. I'm here with some old friends who will introduce themselves in a second, and a new one as well. You might notice that Justin is missing, and that's okay. We miss him dearly, but he is up in the Himalayas with the D&D monks, training hard for his return. When he comes back, he will be stronger than ever, and I'm afraid. But for now, we're about to launch into a new story. I'll let my players introduce themselves.
All right, we keep in the same order. I am Casey Boyd. I will be playing Deep Rot, a kobold death cleric.
And now our new friend.
Hi, yeah.
Introduce themselves.
Should
And you
I
can-
should
you
I
can
give
feel
like
free-
background or anything? That I wasn't ready.
For what? Well, you can.
Like,
Whatever
yeah,
you
hi.
want, man. It's up
Just-
to
I
you.
don't know.
just
I'm
let's
have
Allie.
your
Yep.
introduction and then your character.
Yeah.
Sure,
I
that's
also
fine.
respond to Rob's wife, so if you forget my name, that's a good thing to call me. I am playing Violet. I am a Pact of the Tome warlock. What? What, Rob?
That's good.
That's perfect.
Is
great.
that everything? Yeah.
Thank you, Rob's wife. Go ahead.
Hello. I'm Emily, and I am playing B, an inquisitive rogue.
And I'm Lisa, and I am playing Bonnie, our Aarakocra barbarian.
All right. Nice. So, carrying on the tradition of last campaign, this is a heavy R-rated campaign. We're using Tailspire. That's what's on the screen right now. I'm trying my hand at it. So we're gonna make some tweaks as the weeks go by to what you see on the board. I know that we're gonna be changing the the scaling of the overworld a little bit, but without further ado, let's figure out if I've set up enough stuff correctly and jump right in, shall we? Also, let me know if
Let's
that's too loud,
go.
Justin.
It's very loud. Wow.
Okay, sorry guys. All right. A long and narrow dirt road stretches out behind a string of wooden carriages, carts, and horses. The air is filled with the sounds of creaking timber and wheels squelching through mud brought by a recent rain. The horses, no strangers to long journeys, pant in the struggle for progress. You've been on the road for a few days now, continuing on your endless circuit of servicing towns. Your last destination had been the grand city Leshuit. Job and opportunity abound. Warm inns and plenty of curious patrons. Now, though, the cozy beds and the down pillows were a memory you thought of fondly as you made your way further and further to the edges of civilization. You weren't told where you were going. You usually weren't. But normally at least someone was familiar with the roads you traveled. Nobody was familiar with this one. The scenery had changed from the rolling hills and soft green fields of the countryside a day or so ago. Where the road had brightly carved through the earth, it now timidly sat upon rocky soil, untamed and unforgiving. To the left, messy greenery that leads quickly up to a towering and dense forest. Dark green leaves block vision into the undergrowth, and when a rare opening appears, there's nothing but dark shadows. The perceptive of you would notice that the inner first forest floor was mostly clear of shrubbery, strewn with old dried leaves, and seemed to go on forever. The even more perceptive of you would see that the shadows cast by the wavering canopy weren't always still. A nameless coastline has accompanied you on your right for miles. A small distance of salt-soaked grass separates you from jagged rocks, and a sharp drop to the violent waves below. Any ships stupid enough to approach land here would be smashed to bits. The sun was setting now, and a day's worth of travel behind you. It looked like you'd be spending another night under the stars. As the call to find a camping site was making its way down the caravan, though, the road bent, and the tree line was pushed back. Overgrown fields, sagging sheds, and farmsteads came into view. Humanity at last. Your cart picked up speed. Even the horses could tell that the journey was close to over. Buildings became more and more frequent until the road straightened out again, and the town came into view. A cluster of structures, huddled together for warmth against the spray of the sea. You pass a sign, wood soft and paint faded. Comma, visitors are our lifeblood. You're unsure if that is a welcome or a threat. The caravan pulls off the road and onto the soft earth on the outskirts of town. The few caravan hands that Madame Ricole keeps employed launch into well-practiced action, preparing camp. You throw open the door to your carriage, eager now to stretch your legs and be done with travel. A warm and orange sun is ready to meet you in the after-rain air. Now, who steps out of the wagon first? Who do we see stepping out into the wet and warm air?
Steps out. More like flies out, if you will. Out from the caravan, bursting forth, ready to stretch her wings, is a golden eagle Aarakocra, standing just a little bit over 5 feet tall. And she's dressed in common clothes. You would think that she was any other regular villager if it were not for the giant silvery maul strapped to her back. But she topples out of the caravan, stretches out, and hovers a little bit above the air before settling back down and waiting for her friends to emerge. And then...
Allie, go next.
Oh, God damn it. Isn't fair. I'm new. Okay. So, following her, probably rubbing her eyes, definitely was taking a nap that whole time. Steps out Violet, an elven woman. She has blonde hair that goes down just past her shoulders. Her face is pale, but noticeably sunburned. Her nose is definitely super peeled right now. She's not particularly like beautiful or ugly. She's got a very plain, very plain features. She's got very large eyes. That's about it. She's wearing a very sharply dressed, sharp cloak, nice ruffled, high-collared, kind of Victorian-style top. She's got these really, really cute, in-fashion leather, like high-heeled boots that go up to her knees that make her look a lot taller than she is. And she finishes the whole look off with this little bright red ribbon tied into a bow around her neck. It perfectly matches her lipstick. Everything is put together. She kind of yawns, rolls her shoulders back. Ugh, do we finally make it?
Very much juxtaposed to this very prim and proper and put together individual. You have next crawling out of this carriage this tiny 2.5 foot tall kobold with eyes that are almost opaque and kind of white glazed over. He is a black scaled very, very much descendant of some dragon in the past. He has ash-colored tips on his scales intermixed inside of his body. The noticeable things about him is that he wears a hodgepodge of what looks to be items stolen from graves and other individuals. He carries a human skull that has 2 gold teeth, which seem to be used as a spell focus. He has finger bones of a giant tied around with leather around his forearms. And he has shoulder pads consisting one of a small ram's head and the other of rib bones that have been forced through a leather pauldron on the other side of him. He seems unusually strong as he carries a metal buckler that has the top half of a human skeleton tied to it around it, fashioned as more of a statement and as a warning. And lastly, he is probably known best for a bicorn ship's captain's hat, clearly stolen, that makes him, in his opinion, look smarter. He carries a weapon that is just a leg bone of some creature or person.
Last, padding out comes a very small, fluffier than normal, feline tabaxi. Uh, and I mean, this isn't a like nice descriptive way of putting it, but if you've ever heard of a palace cat, they look a little grumpy or a little fluffier. Their heads are a little like flatter, and they just look adorable and squishy. This is a like small humanoid version of that. She's dressed in very plain clothes, clearly meant to blend in, and looks incredibly perceptive. She's got her short bow close at hand, along with a quiver of arrows, and just has like very simple leather on, no boots, as she likes to make sure that she's like agile and ready to go at a moment's notice. And she is just like yawning, clearly not ready to wake up from her cat nap.
Did you say it's evening when we show up here, Rob?
Yes, the
Kinda late
sun is
afternoon?
setting. It'll probably be fully set, you'd guesstimate, in probably 45 minutes or so. It is pretty empty in this area. There's not many people going to and fro. Your caravan has begun to set up camp, as I said, in a very typical fashion that you guys are used to. Kind of a semicircle of 4 different wagons, one of which laden with supplies, open top, sacks and trunks and whatnot. Another 2 that's made for people to sit in while you're traveling, like the one that you just sat in. Decently comfortable, although occasionally you guys might walk outside along with the carts while you're traveling. Uh, Cloth seats, a little table in between. And then there is Madame Ricole's wagon, which is twice the size of any of the others. You guys have seen it fully extend. There's, a flip up side that's kind of like a food truck, where people can come up to. You've seen her sell various potions out of, and it also functions as kind of a room where people can go in and have private readings and whatnot. The caravan hands are setting up the campfire, too, usually, that you guys will be sleeping next to if you decide to sleep outside. So just really quick, so what we're looking at right now is the overworld. To draw the curtain back a little bit, Tailspire's not super great at tiny little builds. It's you can build big things pretty easily, but tiny builds you have to get a little creative. So bonus points if you can see what I built the structures out of, and the objects therein. What you're sitting next to right now is the town, so all the buildings and
Oh.
whatnot, which we'll get into the description more as you guys explore. But as you guys leave your step out into the humid and seaside air, your boots kind of sink into the ground a little bit. As I said before, it rained recently, as you guys were traveling, and it seems to have gotten to this area as well. So, not a place where you'd put anything that you don't want to get dirty on the ground. But already, waiting outside, an old woman stands before you, but you can hear the clinking of her jewelry long before she comes into view. Fashion, at least as she sees it, is clearly important to her. A deep purple shawl fringed with gold tassels covers most of her small frame. The rest of her clothes, long and frilly things, were varying shades of red, as were the array of bracelets and necklaces on her body. One of the necklaces, though, was heavy in gold, with a large black gem in the center. Makeup adorned the many valleys on her face. Her hair was still a natural black and curly. This is Madame Ricole, the leader of the caravan. She is a wise woman. You've personally seen her tap into the weave, performing feats of the occult for those that needed it. You also know that she isn't above separating a fool from their coin. She stands before you, a toothy smile on her face, and kind of gestures broadly with her arms. Well, what do you think? A bit scenic, rustic, maybe.
I prefer the graveyard, personally.
Rustic is a bit of a polite word for what we're looking at here. It's run down. I think is a bit more. Are we gonna be here long?
Good question. I don't know. Truth be told, I'm not entirely sure why we came here in the first place. I felt an energy down this road, and clearly it's for this town. It is run down. I'll admit. I think I was here once, but that was a long time ago. I think they do have a graveyard, though. Although they probably don't look too kindly upon robbing it, only for looking.
Fine. I'll
Deep rock.
shop somewhere else.
Fair enough. I'm sure you'll find your quota of bones in due time.
There's just no prices like graveyard prices.
Ever the entrepreneur. I like that.
Well,
like it.
I know how much you like separating fools from their coins. So I'm just
Alright.
trying to follow your lead. That's
You
all.
heard
Madam
that
Ricole.
voice too. Interesting. Well, obviously, our work begins tomorrow. We're not going to do anything tonight, but if you're feeling like a self-starter, you can go head into town yourselves, or not. Drum up business for tomorrow is fine. But it's up to you. I'm not going to babysit you.
And by drum up business, what are we? Because we're not like Caravan. We're not like putting on shows, right? But we're kind of like mercenaries. So when she says drum up business, what's the implication there?
Yeah, if we're
So-
putting on shows, I would have done a whole different character, Rob.
I just want to make sure I understand what Madame Ricole's expectations
Sure.
are for us.
You guys travel with her because you have a bit of a kinship to the occult in some way. You guys are welcome to have your own shtick of what services you might offer. She offers tonics and card readings and stuff. In fact, she'll hand you a stack of flyers that have an advertisement with a picture of a cart and horse and some of the key things that the caravan offers. So you guys can offer your own services if you'd like, or just be guards and have a salary per town to keep the caravan safe.
Interesting.
You want us to tell you what we're contributing to the caravan?
No.
Or okay, great.
You
We'll
don't have
surprise
to. You don't have to contribute anything. You can just
I'm
be
just here,
a
honestly.
leech.
Hopped on the back one day, never left.
That's
Uh,
perfectly fine.
Deep Rot kind of puts two of his clawed fingers into the eye holes of the skull, and he kind of like taps his throat with the other one, and you hear him kind of bark into the distance.
Come have your fortune.
Nope, not coming
hear
through.
it at all.
Try it again. Try it again.
I thought that was on purpose. It's like a dog whistle.
Commitment to the
I was
bit
really
was so
excited.
genuine.
Try again. Take two.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, we got it.
Said so far.
Come have your fortune.
No.
Oh no, we can't hear it.
Okay. Come
Yeah,
have...
Discord really said
There you
no with the voices. It said, I don't think so. That little warbly tone.
Can the stream hear
It
it?
picked up well on stream. Come have your fortune told. And
He'll scream it out into the distance, trying
Okay.
to basically like a barker for a show, and he'll just
Mhm.
kind of trying to bring people in from the outsides.
Okay, sure. Your voice echoes across the land, out into the sea, and over to the forest. Do you want to? We can make our first roll of the campaign. How loud you managed to send it? We can call that your choice of athletics or performance
I'll
for
I'll,
sheer
um,
power. Or...
add on guidance just to because I knew what he was about to do.
Apparently, this is not the
Okay.
first town that we've rolled up to and immediately started screaming from the outskirts.
I knew what was about to happen.
Okay, so
Honestly, I was hoping for a poor roll just because it would be comically funny if he
Oh,
was like
don't
trying to
worry.
bark and it was like,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm supportive.
it's a -1, so we're gonna
Perfect.
give this one.
Very promising.
And then, so I rolled a 1.
Oh, we'll get that. We've got our
Not-
first
not
call
a-
for inspiration of the next step in
What?
the campaign. Oh, I guess we should
We
talk.
added that.
We should
Okay,
talk a little bit
yeah.
about
One
You're right.
1,000
You're right.
points.
Holy
Oh,
schmoly.
can I
was
do myself
like,
in
I
stuff?
don't-
We're
I could
switching
give
up.
up 39 inspirations.
Oh
we're
my
we're
God.
switching up our
All
our
right.
channel points for this new campaign. We're gonna try out some new stuff. And yes, it is a 1,000 point channel perk. There is a limit per the for the number of games, so we don't think that you can just spam it nonstop because some of us have a lot of points saved up currently.
Yeah, we've added a few new things to use up our points because we know some people have a lot of them and, encourage longtime streamers. One of them is giving inspiration. So, I don't remember exactly where we landed on it. I don't know if we're giving out inspiration anymore. Instead, we're
That's
just
that too.
going by the channel points. So, God damn it, I'd say it's. So
with
there's
that said,
inspiration.
I'm just gonna, go ahead and kind of announce what it is that you intend on using that inspiration for, and we'll try to just stay on top of it. The other one that we have added is inserting a name into the campaign somewhere. So if you want to redeem 2,000 points, Misprint has already come out here with Nagby. So whether that'll be a NPC,
You know what?
an enemy, an item.
You know what? I
How'd you
love
know that
it.
was
Play
my
around with
middle
it.
name?
DM does have discretion on that though, so names
Depending-
possibility of being rejected if they're really, if they're really crazy out there. Just be smart about it. Is all.
No guarantee.
I don't feel like that's asking a lot.
When I see it, no guarantee on when it'll be used. If it makes sense for the next NPC that I introduce, then I'll do it. If it's a good name, but I don't have an NPC going to be introduced yet, I'll save it. If it is ridiculous and you should feel bad, I'll roast you on stream, and that's okay. But I'll say the name out loud.
It's okay because I said it was.
But we're trying out some new stuff this time around.
but
Or just
Misprint, I like it, and that works. So
Instead of just
I'm-
Nagby, can his name be Nagby Boom? Since that's what
Yes.
Misprint said
I'll
right after that.
I'll even give you
Love
that,
it.
although that's the only time
Oh.
that's going to happen.
Great.
Yes, I like that.
Guys.
Kite Sage did, I guess. All right.
Yep.
I'll.
so
I
we're
guess
adding
I can't,
an NPC named Rob. Excellent.
I can't roast that. You've tricked me.
You could.
You've got me. You've
Let's
put me in a corner.
Let's pull it
I don't
back
like it.
into the story here. So
Yes.
I've barked now for people to come to us.
All right.
Well,
You
as
got
like,
guidance. Don't forget.
Well,
yeah.
So apparently I have to roll an inspiration.
Oh yeah. Yes, you do.
So a 13, and then guidance would be a
1d4.
D4. Rolled everyone, and so 16 total for my barking ability.
Okay.
performance?
You put up the few of you near Deep Rot know what's happening. Sorry. There will be a bit of a learning curve for learning the character names. Violet chooses to rest her hand on Deep Rot's shoulder and imbue him with some energy. The rest of you might cover your ears because you know what's coming. Deep Rot shouts out the advertisement through the skull as a magnifier, and it echoes nice and far. You know the town heard it. And you can bet it penetrated pretty deep into the forest as well as over the seas. So, but mission success. You have now begun your advertisement campaign. Madame Ricole gives the stack of papers to whomever's standing right there. We'll say it is Clever Bee. Do I say Clever Bee?
And she just
Like
goes
Clever
by
Bee?
B.
B.
No,
Okay.
she just goes. You know, tabaxi names. They have like long, fancy names, but they just go by one of them. And she will take the flyers, intending she's used to being the one who hands them out because she is particularly perceptive and insightful, one might say. So as she hands out the flyers, she'll do a little like scoping out for Madame Ricole on like anything she might notice about their possible future patrons that could like give her some like tells or help when she's doing her readings.
Okay.
Or just in terms of, you know, like your classic not really a psychic manipulation scam situation. She's the scoper. I don't think that's a real thing, but you know. So she like happily takes them to start handing them out and like collecting some intel.
You're picking marks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely. What else is an
Universal.
inquisitive rogue for?
Universal quality. She says, "Thank you, dearie. The more you hand out, the better. I'm sure you won't get through the whole stack on this town. So, but enjoy yourselves. Rest. It's been a long day of travel. You may rest. You may also be productive if you'd like."
Deep Rot will walk over and find some of the looser mud and just squish his feet into it. Just kind of like.
You do it. It's very
Good
satisfying.
cozy.
B like crinkles her and looks just disgusted. Ugh, I don't know how you can do that. I do not do wet.
I say we scope out the town a bit more and see if we can pull in. Maybe not even pull in more people, but I think we just get in there and get an idea of what's going on.
Yeah, I don't
could
think
go
it'll
shopping.
take long. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of shopping to do here. Maybe there's a tavern. Maybe.
Bonnie stretches out, all her feathers kind of separate from each other. Well, Ricole says that we're going to be here for a while. I see we go ahead and make ourselves comfy. Might as well get an idea of what fun there is to be had here. And I'm going to take
someone's here to see you. One of the caravan hands calls out from the one closest to the road. You can see that there's a dwarf standing there by the side.
customer. Come in.
You've
Come in,
seen.
sir.
We all like shuffle into really professional.
You've
As
seen.
professional as we can.
You've seen enough guards to know that this is a guard.
Guards can also be customers.
That's true. They
Come in, sir,
stand.
please.
They are standing on the road, kind of on the outs. Well, the caravan's on the grass, so a small distance away from the caravan camp. Standing on the road, kind of arms crossed, regarding the caravan.
May I perception check? Is it just one guard or several guards?
You look around. You only see one. And you have a pretty good view of the road in town.
May I attempt
You may.
to
You may.
perception check him? 16.
Okay. So what specifically are you looking for? Just to see that he's alone, or anything else?
No, I just want to see like if there's anything on his person noticeable that will help like let us know what he's looking for, what kind of person he is. I am just attempting to glean any information that I can, just like that would be useful to us in terms of like getting him to use our services and like believing the whole scheme.
Okay. Sure.
So, before you is a short and squat dwarf. His beard and hair is greasy, and you'd wager perpetually wet. They wear a dented metal chestplate, a long sword at their hip. They seem to be the spitting image of a small town guard. They stand at the road, arms crossed, tapping their foot on the cobblestone, almost impatiently.
Hello, thank you so much for welcoming us to your town. Let us know if there's anything we can offer you.
He'll begin striding over, being careful to pick the less squishy parts of the ground. Um, uh, B, to your perception check. You can see. I'll give you that um, he has, as he gets closer, you can see rings around his on the or I guess bags under his eyes. He seems tired. You'd wager he seems like he's at the end of his shift right now. Your
He
eyes are immediately drawn to a coin purse at his hip.
Does he
Um,
seem like he's here on like town business or personal business?
uh, Town business.
Okay, like a.
We
Yes.
can always change that.
The entire
Is-
time that he's walking and that we are in front of him, Deep Rod is just going to, like, unblinkingly and inadvertently just stare at him the entire time.
As he passes, you've separated a little bit from the group. He looks over at you, an isolated person. You see him glance towards your feet that are now. Do you wear boots?
No.
Okay. The mud is nice and in between your toes. You can feel the firmer ground underneath. Your feet are almost buried. He looks down at your feet, looks up at you, sees you're staring right at him, meets eyes for just a second before very pointedly turning his head away. And makes his he shudders just a little bit that you can see. He makes his way over to the rest of you. And you're all in the same encounter. You're all within earshot and talking distance. And says, "Newcomers, out this far. What brings you to our lovely little town?"
A bit of a sensation. It's a we're kind of working with our spirits and with being compelled into being pulled in various places. So really the question is, what is it in your little town that needs us here? Hmm?
He holds out a gloved hand and nods. "You're where that that shout came from, I presume."
That's a safe bet, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I see that you have
Are we getting a noise complaint? We haven't
all
been
of
here for very
your
long, but I don't really want a noise complaint this
stuff.
early into visiting.
No.
Oh, perfect. No
Uh,
issues then.
I know this isn't going to be a popular thing for me to say, and you're not going to like hearing it, but uh, you should keep going. Don't stop here. There's an inn a little bit past the town. You should be able to get there by sunrise. They'll take care of you. It's called the early boating. Uh, you can stay there and then keep moving until you're out of the woods and back in the countryside.
Um,
If I were you, I would go.
B is gonna sidle up to him and long day on the job.
He backs up or steps pointedly
off to the side a little bit and regards you. Just finishing up my shift, actually.
You know, before you go, Madame Ricole does some pretty lovely readings that might give you a little bit of luck on your way. Some good news. She's gonna like try her best to just like persuade him.
Okay. Yeah, make a persuasion check.
19.
Don't really
Ew.
believe in that kind of stuff. But
Don't have to believe
With-
for it to work.
Don't
Let's-
worry, we'll make you believe.
the
Oh, because it's a
Can
really,
I
really good reading. If I didn't,
can I position myself
I'm just-
around him and just kind of
It's just
edge,
pushing
just
him
like-
in.
just kind of edging him forward a little bit, just kind of a little like go in.
Listen,
He
B has put on her like Puss in Boots eyes, you know what I mean? You know that scene in Shrek where it's like we're so like just
Sparkly.
could really turn your whole day around.
Sounds like you've had a long month on the job. You deserve to treat yourself.
sure.
quick question: have we noticed any movement from the town while we've been like, in this situation at all? Have we
Great
seen
The entire
question.
town
And
has stood
just
up
to
and is moving away.
Yeah,
from
like,
us.
is
they
there-
are
You heard
they have
anything? People.
torches and pitchforks. They're right there actually.
Okay. Okay.
They're
No,
gonna love us. They don't even know
just-
it yet.
For the record, and for our viewers, I'm keeping track of passive skills and the important ones I have written down per character. So when someone asks a question like that, I'll give an answer based off of that skill
Mhm.
and what it'd be. And if you want to press further, you can choose to roll. That's perfectly fine. Or I'll ask for a roll. So, but you don't see any movement. You do see there are occasionally, most of the windows are dark in the town. Occasionally there are windows that flicker with the light that you'd imagine would be from a candle or something. But there's really no movement from the streets at all. I will, so with your persuasion roll B, this is the result of that roll. I don't really believe in that kind of stuff, but with everything that's going on, I might take you up on that. At this point, you guys begin your boxing in the maneuver. And
We got
you
him, boys.
can tell he is like, he wasn't necessarily on guard. But he notices this maneuver and he backs up completely.
And B
and
is not trying to box him in. She's just like her closeness is just more of the persuasive like
you may be a passive face of this square, but you're still a face of the square.
I know.
When he
but
backs up, does he just back into Bonnie?
he will attempt to go around. He knows that you're there and he tries to go around. If you would like to physically box him in, you may. But you'll have to go for it and roll for it.
I'm
You
ready
can
to
tell
be
that he's getting
enemies of this
uncomfortable.
town immediately.
B is gonna
I'll let him
step
go.
over to the stairs of the caravan and just like sweep her arm as like a gesture and a like, we're not like just here you go.
I'll be around in the morning if you're still here. And you're still offering, but just as a friendly warning, I would leave.
I was like, oh,
when you go
ahead.
when you go back into town, I grab some of the flyers. Could you just maybe pass these around if you see anyone?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I bat my eyelashes with my very high perception or persuasion.
Oh, I have a plan if that doesn't work.
Oh,
Let him
God.
some
If you
kindly.
want to tag team it, you're welcome to.
Well, what B is gonna do is she is going to take like discreetly one of the flyers in her hand and just like pat him on the back. So nice meeting you, and like stick the flyer to his back for everyone to see while he walks past them.
I
So
love
I'm
that.
distracting him.
I'm absolutely giving you inspiration for that. That's amazing.
Nice.
Okay. Make me. Make me a sleight of hand check for that.
Ah!
Does my distraction help at all?
Yeah.
Because
Does that
I'm
help?
I'm being very cute and distracting.
So here's what happens. You, Violet, begin your eye batting. You can't seem to capture the essence of the tabaxi kitten face, but you have your own feminine charms. And you turn him all the way up, and he sighs deeply.
Let me know if he
Fuck.
ever makes eye contact with me again. That's all.
He actually, well, he
I
actually
hope he does now.
he looks around. He just sees the situation. He does look back towards you. The mud under your feet squelching. We'll say he makes eye contact.
Soon.
What did you say?
Soon.
Oh.
And that's a promise.
Oh.
Oh. You see him just like pause for a second and just all right. Yeah, I'll put him in my break room.
Thank you.
Yeah. He'll take a few. And then you, as he takes them, almost in tandem. You guys have been working together for a little while, at least at this point now. In tandem, you give him a pat on the back, and he flinches away from you as you do that, but the damage is already done, and he does not seem to notice.
As he turns away to leave, B is gonna reach out to fist bump Violet.
I have to go
Just
down
like, yeah,
a little bit.
the
Yeah.
usual.
a
He
secret
does.
handshake.
He does turn to leave. He casts a look back at the caravan one last time and shakes his head before continuing down the road by himself to the town.
We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. Oh,
I like him.
wow.
You think he's gonna come back and buy a reading?
Yeah, he seemed like he was really depressed, and those folks always come back.
That's
I
what
feel
I
like he
said.
really
He'll be a
needs it.
he'll be a customer soon. I promise.
We'll get him tomorrow morning, gang. For sure.
I don't think
Well-
he told us to leave, though. How is he going to come back if we leave?
Yeah, we're not gonna leave.
No,
Mhm.
do we want to check out the town, actually?
I
Might
feel
as
like
well
we've
kill
hung
two
out-
canaries with one crossbow and pass out
You know
some
I don't
flyers and
like-
get some drinks.
You know I hate that phrase. Why do you say that around me?
B just like wiggles her
I know
eyebrows.
canaries. B, we've
And
had
I
this conversation.
Love canaries.
I don't like when you look at me like that. But yeah, let's go to town.
Deep Rot, completely oblivious to them, is looking around on the ground for grubs to eat.
Yeah, before we head into town, I'll snag Deep Rot.
Make a grub check.
I assume
Perception.
that's
Grub
nature, right?
check.
Or nature.
Grub.
Yeah, I don't care. Nature, investigation, perception.
There you
Only
go.
now known as
15.
grub.
All of those could find a grub. You've had a plan this whole time. You weren't just feeling the mud with your feet. You were also at the same time looking for grubs, and you felt a few of them, and they felt juicy. And you put your hand into the ground, and you root around for a second before finding the one that you were feeling. You pick it up, and I don't know what you're about to do with it, so I'll let you say that. But you do notice that this one is quite large, and it's a bit gray. And if you found any other ones in your search as well, which you could if you kept looking, they also look gray, a bit bulbous, almost wrinkly.
Is this
Not exactly healthy.
Is this abnormal from the normal grubs I'm used to eating?
I would say you're not sure if it's the reason but it is different from the grubs from the area that you're used to. Back up the road. They seem to either be a different species or something, but they seem to be unique.
I think he would just like squish it in his hands and see what happens.
Of course. I mean, what else can you do with a grub? Tony.
Well, normally he eats them.
Don't
but-
eat me! Ah!
That was Rob that you just killed. So thank you for contributing, Kite Sage. So
Oh.
you take it in your fingers and it wiggles, and you go, and it, like a tube of toothpaste opened at both ends, just exudes a grayish, thick substance.
Yeah.
Not quite as viscous or as watery as you're used to. It seems to be a little bit
so
more.
he
substance.
he is a proficient alchemy individual, so he's gonna kind of like rub it, smell it, kind of tap it to his tongue to see if it's like acidic in nature or.
Oh god, it's so gross. To a normal person, for you,
Yeah.
it's really fascinating. Um, it is almost sweet, but with some sickly undertones. Almost it strikes you as very familiar for a second before you realize it smells almost of death.
I like it here.
We might like it even more if we can get into town.
Are there
Maybe
any
we go into town.
Let's go.
are there any grubs,
More grubs?
under
Yeah. Oh yeah. big time.
under like Bee's feet? She's not wearing shoes either.
Oh, who's not? Why are you guys not wearing shoes?
I explained why in my character
I
introduction.
know.
Thank you.
That's half the party now. Okay. If you're
Because
not,
she would pick up her foot and like peel one off her foot like disgustingly and just be like, "Here, take this."
Oh.
Deeper just opens his mouth to drops inside.
He has so many grubs. I do want to say, Bonnie, you come up to Deep Rot to get him to come with you guys just as he squishes it, and you watch the fascination on his face. I'm
so glad you're having fun.
stopping the grub RP now, and we're gonna continue.
Are you
What's
sure?
that?
I'm gonna go for hours.
I don't know if you know this, but as a bard
I
person,
think we've met our quota.
grubs.
We've gotten where we needed to go. So
All right, I'm
okay.
gonna claw in hand in hand and paw in hand, and then we're gonna move into town.
Okay.
Yeah,
You do
we're
so.
looking for a
Okay.
tavern.
We're
All
gonna
right.
go. I'm thinking full on yellow brick road style.
Mhm.
We're just skipping into town.
As we're looking for a tavern, are we gonna pass a notice board of any kind, like besides what could be at the tavern itself, like
God, what a
center
great
of town
question.
kind of thing?
Let me counter with this. You approach the town of Kama along the soggy main road. It's mostly silent here, except for the low whistle of the wind and the quiet crashing waves. Now that you're closer, you can see that the town consists of a dozen or so buildings, crowding around a cobbled street. An empty space, probably what passes for the town's common area, separates you from the larger structures of this place. The buildings here are made out of dark wood, surely sourced from the forest. They are clearly old. Patch jobs and repairs litter the faces that you can see, so much so that you'd be surprised if any of the original material was still left. Most are only a story tall, maybe two. As you pass through the threshold and between the first pair of buildings, you can see a few shops advertising their existence in vain. A sign hangs from a metal pole that reads Holden's Goods, probably a general store. A man stumbles out of a set of doors that swing limply in his wake. The smell of stew and earth escape from within. A statue of a bird squats out front, about 3 feet high. Vibrant yellow paint, not quite faded. Large, bold letters run across the facade of the building. The Quiet Canary. Yet another building catches your eye, one that has an open storefront. Plants and flowers seem to cover every surface in vibrant primary colors, almost in direct defiance of the dreary nature of this place. An old woman walks between the rows of pots and tables, watering her children and humming to herself in the dying light. Freshly painted on the window of the shop is its name, the Pressed Aster. The town square, much like its streets, is deserted, save for the limping man that left the tavern a moment ago. A gallows squats in the center, empty noose swaying in the breeze. On the other side are two tall buildings. The left one is plain looking, standing 3 stories tall, and reeks of bureaucracy. The one on the right is far more interesting, a church, made of stone and studded with painted glass windows that glow in the last bits of sunlight. Its bell tower rises high above the rooftops. When I'm giving descriptions like that, you guys are more than welcome to interrupt me if you want. I'll pause if I expect someone to want to do something. And you're also welcome to call for any checks after I'm done with whatever
I
if you
throw a
want to do
javelin.
something. Okay, nice. You do it. No roll required.
I'm just curious if there's any other people or voices in this town. Does it seem like mostly abandoned except for this limping guy?
You heard some
old
voices
woman.
coming from what you suspect is the tavern. Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, B is gonna run over to the bird statue in front of the tavern and be like, "Buddy, it's like I'm psychic. Kill 2 canaries with a crossbow. Giant canary.
I mean,
Where's the second one?
then it would be let's just go inside.
Did I mention
Let's just go inside.
canaries?
Sorry.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that to her? It's like Violet, I thought that I thought we put all of the nastiness behind us, and I'm just getting very worried that there's maybe still some residual emotions. So if we need to have a talk, we could do so, but I just don't need any more animosity coming from
Did not
The
think
cat.
that one through. That smells like stew, y'all.
I
When-
would love some stew.
Deep Rock
Bees.
gets up
Hopefully
on
not
his
made of birds.
tiptoes, reaching for the
Damn it,
doorknob.
Why would you
chicken.
say that? Why would you say that?
It is a saloon style doors. If I was if
Oh, then I
It
walk
crawls
over.
So,
under them.
you can see inside. That's great. I wanted to say, B, when you begin your exclamations of glee about the canary statue, your voice echoes
Oh.
through the streets, and you can tell, even in the dark windows of the surrounding buildings, figures are watching.
Just random side. As we enter the town and we like hit solid land, I'm quietly cleaning up the mud on Deep Rot's feet with prestidigitation hopefully without him noticing. I'm just kind of like and getting him nice and sparkly fresh for town so we make a good impression.
Okay. There are
I clean
many
everyone's boots. I just
Yeah,
want
I
us
was
all to
gonna say,
look everyone and feet, bare feet. Just
B
to look
is
polished.
gonna look pleadingly at Violet since she, as mentioned, does not like the wet and it's just like, oh my god.
Oh, nice and dry. Oh yeah, you go poof and it's all gone.
Thank you.
And I made you smell really nice as well. I did a little you can choose
I there
whatever
are
your
many-
signature perfume
many
scent
layers
is.
of grime on his feet.
It takes
Okay.
a few rounds, but I get there.
It's a cantrip. That's like, I mean, just keep
It's
on.
gonna take me a minute.
Yeah, it's fine. So I guess
Um,
we're hitting up the tavern 1st.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
The quiet canary. Do you think it's saying that we need to be quiet here? We've made a bit of an impression, apparently.
Are we going to the maps, or are you pulling us?
I am going to pull you guys.
Perfect.
Give me 1 second. So you guys approach. You see that that Deep Rot just comes up and underneath the saloon doors, and the rest of you, I assume, follow. Sorry. Let's do this. Bada bing, bada boom.
New map. New map. Nice. And look, there's us. We're so cute. At least that's us
All
for a
right.
little while. We'll see how long we keep these minis for.
You guys are welcome to move and do whatever, but I have a little something for this. Um, do I have to open the door for you, or are you able to? Yes. Okay. There you go.
Let us in.
All right. You open the saloon-style doors to reveal a dimly lit tavern. Tables litter the moderate floor space. Patrons
Oh.
are in here drinking and eating after a day's work in isolated clumps. A pot of what you imagine to be soup sits bubbling in the fireplace. The smell of stew and smoke of cooking herbs is a pleasant welcome, although there are notes of stale sweat and sour ale. A few heads turn to look at your arrival, and fewer still seem to care when they see you. A bartender, a tiefling, gives you a nod before going back to polishing a glass.
I
We
approach the yeah.
big old friendly nod right on back, and then I say we saddle on up to the bar. Especially if we're not getting glares so far. No one else has approached us and told us to get the hell out of town. So that's a warmer welcome than we've gotten at some of the other places we've been.
To the bar. Oh, do I have to move?
Yes,
To
you
move myself.
can.
Oh.
Deep
I'm
Rot
so
will walk
sad.
through everybody and find a
Gravity.
stool to climb up to stand on because he's now used to this. Now that he's seen several establishments, and he'll stand up over the bar and just
The most stale grog you have.
You beeline straight for the bar. The tiefling stands behind the bar, a glass in one hand and a rag in the other. He regards you coolly with solid black eyes, setting his task down on the counter before giving you his full attention. He wears a purple vest and a black shirt underneath. His skin is a deep red, almost black, and large horns curve up and behind his head. Well, that will, are you sure?
Yes, look at me.
I am. But sure, yeah. He goes and he pulls out a glass bottle of deep brown liquid, no label on it. Pulls off a cork. It's already half empty. Takes out a shot glass and looks ready to pour. And motions with his hand to the side, like to indicate the size of the glass, and raises his eyebrow at you.
They come in pints.
This one doesn't, but sure, we'll call that a double. And he pulls out his a mug instead and begins to pour it. You notice that there is no fizz in this drink. So he finishes
Perfect.
pouring it and wraps his knuckles on the counter and says, "That's 5 copper." Somebody mentioned that you guys aren't getting stares or being regarded. You guys are, especially as you make your way through the bar. You have to go down the main thoroughfare. People are watching you, for sure. It's not super crowded, but you can tell. These people seem to be blue-collar workers, mostly, although a few people just seem to be schmucks in regular clothes, but they seem to be wearing their work clothes. A few tanner's outfit here, leather smock, some very sweat-stained white shirts, and what look like almost rubber pants with whatever these are called, overalls. But yeah, so Deep Rot, he gives you his the drink. You're paying him?
yeah, I think if he's offering 5 copper, he would just put down 1 silver.
Okay. Sure.
Ooh,
Uh,
bad.
Do you want a second?
I think he would just immediately drink it, but he Deep Rot at this point has learned customs that the bigs, the tall folks care more about the shiny pieces of metal than what truly matters, which is bones and viscera.
Sure.
Not wrong.
Okay.
Can I take a little peek around the room and see if there's anybody who looks like they are maybe particularly nosy? So is there anyone who looks like they're eavesdropping or gossiping or looks particularly shady?
And
What?
to
What is
add
this?
on, no, I want to add on to hers because you described the bartender as having solid black eyes. Is that just the tiefling, or does everyone in the town have solid black eyes?
Good question.
Such a valid question.
That's a
Look
good
around, we're
question.
like,
That's a good one.
Just
off.
the tiefling.
Okay.
Just the tiefling. But good question.
Can I tack on to Lisa's looking around? Also,
Yeah, why not?
besides
Everybody
gossipy, shady people, but also anyone who looks maybe a little emotional, a little susceptible to being like encouraged to make poor life choices.
We're looking for the
like
weak ones that we can prey
heartbroken.
upon. Yeah.
You walked
Yeah.
in the bar with them.
So, like gossips and
The weak
I don't know
ones.
what the word I'm looking. Yeah.
People with
Okay.
feelings.
All
Fools.
right. So let's go in order. So Bonnie, you take a look around. It's the tables are put pretty tight. You might have to move your wings back a little bit. People, you can tell, Bonnie, you're familiar with this look. They are not familiar with your race. They do not see it very often.
Can I
Or
interrupt
maybe
with
ever.
a question about Bonnie? So
Go
I thought
ahead.
you said you were wearing like a cloak, but like, so is there like just like a hole cut in the back for your or like how did? Oh, you're not.
Mm-mm.
Oh, never mind then. I was trying to figure out how you wear
said
clothing.
I'm wearing commoner's clothing. She
Yeah.
basically, she's not dressed like a traditional adventurer.
Okay.
She doesn't have any fancy armor on. She kind of just looks like any old schmuck, except that she is also a bird.
So where do the wings come? Never. I'm overthinking this so much.
Like
Like,
that, she probably
So they,
put
do you have to?
slits
Yeah,
in
like
her
do you have to get
clothing
your
for them
clothes
to,
custom
like-
made? I'm just so curious.
Madame Ricole enchanted a bunch of her stuff when she
that's
first
so
joined.
nice. Okay,
It was so
okay.
nice of her. Yeah, she was just like, "Hey, you don't have to worry about this whole wing thing with the clothing anymore." And she was like, "Thank you.
Yeah,
I've been
Okay.
doing this issue my entire life."
Okay.
I think canonically, if Bonnie ever decided to sell her clothing, it would be worth a lot of money
Okay.
since it's enchanted.
Wow.
Yeah,
can
that's
say.
that's exactly what I was thinking as well. I think it's probably considered like a legendary item at this point. So it's probably
Canonically.
something that
Yeah.
definitely canonically. So if when I do decide to sell my magical shirt,
Go naked around town, of course.
we'll trade that in for
Okay.
something special in the future, but for today she's just going to enjoy wearing a shirt, I think. But she does have wings and arms. Like that is like the Eric Cochran thing. Is like she's got like bird legs and talons, but then like little human arms. They're not little.
Little
She's
human arms?
beefy. She's a barbarian. She's got beefy arms. No, she's got
Really
big
short.
T-Rex arms.
barbarian arms and very intimidating.
All right, so this isn't a big place. You guys are looking around at people. You probably could do that as you walked up to the bar if you are. There are a couple empty tables. The people seem to... they're sitting with people they know. They're talking to each other, and they're drinking. They seem to be pretty tired. Like I said, these are blue-collar workers. They don't seem to have a whole lot of energy. The people at this table in the back left over here seem to be playing some kind of game involving cards and dice, and they are you can see
Excellent.
money on the table.
Love it.
Ooh.
But in general, people seem to be talking softly to themselves and keeping to themselves.
Okay,
We're just
so
drinking
nobody looks like a
FOMO.
particularly nosy Nelly. There's no town.
At this point, you
Mm.
can't quite tell because
Okay,
all
that's
they're
fair.
doing is just looking at you.
Alrighty, and she's I think used to this to some level. So as she's making eye contact with people, she's kind of just like giving them a smile, giving them a little wave. She's just kind of making her way through, not ignoring the stares, but just kind of leaning into it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and mosey on up to this table of people gambling.
Okay.
And I'd be willing to assume that at least one of my money-hungry friends is not far behind me.
Me.
Ayo.
I'll
That's my
probably go
little
up
guy.
to the bar while they're handling that.
Honestly, B skipped the bar
Loot
and
squad.
would be straight over at the
Who goes to a bar to
gambling.
drink?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I'm
Deep
moving. I
Rot,
think my
did you
character's
want
stuck on the table.
another round, or were you giving him a tip with your?
He was giving him a tip because
Okay.
he, as a both a kobold and a cleric, he doesn't value money all that much, and he knows that other people do, and they seem to treat him better when he gives them the shiny circles. And so when that happens, he has learned that if he does this in abundance, they're less put off by his appearance in general.
Okay. Fair enough. Cool. The bartender
Oh, uh-oh.
will say, hopefully this isn't insulting, but I assume you all were grouped together. We also serve food if you guys are hungry, but feel free to just hang around.
Your grubs smell weird. They taste of death.
Sorry?
Your grubs, the food, it tastes of death.
Okay. Thank you. I think.
I'm gonna approach the bar as well. Hi, so could I get a round of just whatever's cheapest for everyone in the bar? Tell them it's from Madame Ricole. Second of all, do you have any mixed drinks?
Let me do some math real quick. That's
Oh, not my friends.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm not trying to bribe you.
Yeah. Okay. Round of the gut rot. It's gonna be just a silver. And although I'll be honest, that isn't liable to make anyone really like you. But you're welcome.
How much more do I have to spend to make them like me?
Harley, what are you drinking right now? This man over here calls out. Just a whiskey. Straight.
Just a whiskey.
Just a whiskey. It seems like that. For the whole bar, that'll be probably we'll call it 3 silver.
Perfect.
And then cocktails, we don't do that here, unless you want it mixed with water.
They have good grog.
I'll take a whiskey
Thank
too.
you. Okay.
Also, what is in this stew? The stew. Is
2
it
copper
bird?
for the whiskey. What was the question?
What is in the stew?
And then after that, is it burnt?
Bird based.
Oh, bird based. What?
Your name is the Quiet
like
Canary.
chicken?
Yeah.
Oh, canary doesn't really have a lot of meat on it.
If it's rat, I'll take a bowl.
No. Those rumors are baseless. We do not serve rat. It's just catch of the day and
Okay.
chicken,
Okay.
potatoes, carrots, celery.
Okay.
Can I just say, as Deep Rat asks if it's rat and says he'll take a bowl, you see, like, across the room, you see B perk up, rat stew?
No. No rat stew. Although you guys really like rat stew, I know a guy who could make some pretty good rat stew.
Oh, if you know a guy, and I guess I'm approaching the bar. We're actually looking for some information on a different guy. Might be the same guy. We don't quite know yet. But we actually met this little dwarf gentleman who was very sweet. But he, maybe so. Yeah, we didn't quite get that far. He did tell us to leave though. And I thought that was a little bit unfriendly. So do you have any idea why someone would, I don't want to know, bail on this beautiful town of yours? Because so far it's been very welcoming.
Are you hitting on me?
I can. Would that work? What's the deal with the dwarf guy?
She hits really hard.
You see the mall kind of glints in the light from behind
The
her.
mall glints in the light.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
It's a little sprinkly, little sparkle. It's not silvered, but it's silvery.
I mean, there's not that many dwarves in town. Do you have any other descriptors than
Yeah,
just
he
short
was.
dwarf?
Yeah, no, he was short and he was kind of a dick. He was.
Again, you're just describing dwarves.
Help me! Someone help me! What the hell did this dwarf look like?
Oh, did we get his name? I looked into his eyes. They were very deep.
Grumpy.
I'm gonna say blue.
And
He was a dwarven guard. He
hey,
had
ominous.
A guard.
he had the
Thank you.
shirt.
That was the
breastplate
word I
that
was
had
looking
dents
for.
in it. He had a beard
Yeah.
that looked like this, and he stunk of death.
Well,
So you remember
probably
him? You know him?
needs to take a few showers. Yeah, that's a village guard at Nagby. Boom.
What a
He's got a
weird name.
great name.
Seems like cash money name to me. So
Is
what?
does he just seem like the kind of gentleman? Does he usually come out and just try to start scaring people off?
I mean, he's just the guard. I'm sure he had a reason. I don't know.
Oh, I don't think so. We were very polite to him right from the get-go. We've done nothing wrong since we've been here, actually.
nothing whatsoever.
Thank you. But he tried to tell us to leave, and I just feel like, wouldn't you rather have us like here in your town buying a whiskey and your like vodka
mean-
waters and all of that? I'll take a vodka water, please, and thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was because I mean things are getting I mean there's an execution tomorrow. People are on edge. Now's not a great time to be in town, to be honest.
Oh, I want to see the execution.
I
He
bet you do.
loves executions.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
So who's dying?
Really?
Well,
Okay.
Well, we don't know him.
We're new to town.
I was trying to think of how
No,
to
I-
ask it nicer,
Oh,
but
I'm
I
sorry.
would like.
Is this a friend of yours? Is it-
An awkward silence falls over the bar.
I'd like to roll an
No,
insight on if this is a friend of his.
It's,
I'd like to try to determine what the relationship between this tiefling and a dying man, dying person. Sorry,
Respectfully.
I'm inciting respectfully.
We're being very polite.
you may. Insight. Go ahead.
Excellent, thank you. That would be a non-nat 20 for my first roll of the
Of
campaign,
course.
please and thank
Yeah,
you.
that's good.
Excellent.
You can tell that the bartender doesn't quite know what's going on with this conversation. And
Just the bartender.
the sorry, not to exclude present company. You can get the sense that there's a bit of like these people are outsiders and he's trying to get a feel for what you guys are about. So far you've told him that a guard has asked you to leave town and you immediately latch on to the execution happening tomorrow. You can see he's starting to form a picture of what you guys are all about. It doesn't seem like he was necessarily fond of the person dying tomorrow. In fact, he says, "No, he wasn't my friend." But I mean, yeah, he was a lumberjack for the town. People,
Do you
there's
often kill your workers?
no. Well, I don't kill anybody, but he. No, there's been a string of disappearances recently, and they think he did it. So
I like this place.
While this is happening, is there a visible like notice board up in the tavern?
Yeah. we'll say yeah. It's on the wall over here, just against this wall.
B is gonna, before she tries to get into this game, gonna walk over and cover the entire thing, like cover over anything that's already on it, just plaster it with Madame Ricole's. Like everything else is just like, you can see some of them are like puffing up from the things like underneath them that have gotten crinkled, but she's just like covering it just with that, like over everything, not even bothering to rip down the other stuff.
That's great. I love that. Okay, give me a perception check. And while you do that, we'll finish some stuff up at the bar. So, if you're buying a drink, 2 copper, unless you're buying gut rot or the super fancy stuff. I don't remember who was. So you wanted to leave vodka and water. What's your name? Bumble? Bonnie?
Bumble
uh,
and Bee.
As
did
it
you?
says,
As it says on the stream, Bonnie the wild barbarian.
I'm not looking at that.
Yeah,
I'm
you've
busy.
got a cheat sheet, my man.
busy.
Come on now.
I'm busy. I can't bother learning your names.
All right, tell me more about my
he-
vodka water.
He also gets out a number of shot glasses for everybody in the bar. Takes your money. Please subtract it from your sheets. And begins pouring it. He gives you your vodka and water first. It's vodka and water. It's not good stuff. It's 2 coppers worth of vodka and water. It's not great.
Well, they get.
But it's alcohol. And he calls out. He bangs his hand on the bar. Some of the glasses shake, and says, "Hey, everyone! These newcomers bought everybody around. So, they said to check out Madame Ricole's caravan outside of town. So,
Are
come up
people
and get a
like
shot."
generally receptive to that? Are people like, oh, whisper, 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 Madame Ricole's, whisper,
Ooh, yeah.
whisper?
Yeah, they look surprised but appreciative. Although, I mean, you guys have just been talking right there, so they've heard what your conversation was. But they if they have a glass, they'll raise it and nod at you guys, and a general round of thanks is said before people get their glasses.
Oh, we're gonna be eating good tomorrow with all this business we trim up today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is great. I
eating
can't
good
believe
tomorrow
he
with
wants
all
us
this
to leave
business.
town.
what a dingus.
Jeez.
We're definitely not leaving. We're gonna live here forever. I've decided. I love it here.
B, you go to put up your flyers, and whether or not you cared what was on the board, you do get a look at it. And you can see that largely it is missing posters. People are advertising they're missing their pets. Help me find. Have you seen Sparky? And others are. Have you seen my son? Have you seen my husband? Here's pictures and descriptions. And it seems like there's a good 10, 15 of those on the wall.
Still covering them up.
Yep. Nope. Totally fine. You also see an advertisement, one for the hanging tomorrow. You see in big bold letters, it says, kidnapper caught. Reason for disappearances apprehended. Come watch. Come watch Percy Woodsmith hang on this day, tomorrow.
His name's Woodsmith, and he's a lumberjack.
Mhm.
Man, clever.
Cute.
Thank you.
Wow.
I like it.
Appreciate
I
it.
think it's cute.
Do you think he became a lumberjack because of his name, or he changed his name when?
Deep lore.
I don't care.
Ask the question, don't care in the same breath. All right.
right.
Okay, you see that. You also see something mentioning changes to the local horse race betting system. Some technical stuff that
Have
people.
horse racing here?
It seems like it, but you very quickly put
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing over it, and it's gone.
Is B a gambler? Is B
No.
like, hell yeah, I'm ready to burn some
B is
coin?
not a gambler. B is played by someone who loves all in-game animals, and the idea of getting her character to like race a horse just for kicks and giggles.
That's far more wholesome.
Wait, can we put you on the
Very
horse
sweet.
and then
No.
we could put Bonnie on you?
She
And
just
then
runs next to the horses, racing them on foot.
We
I
could
feel like
beat a
we could
horse.
stack.
To articulate
could.
the tabaxi rogue, we could beat a horse.
You could.
I would have joined that race. What day is the
Absolutely.
race?
We could rig it. I'd bet on you. I'd gamble if I knew I'd win.
I say we do this. Okay,
Let's
what day
go.
is the race? When is this dumb hanging gonna be over so that we can go to the horse races?
This
And
is like
is
the
there a
flight
dinner
race
with
all
the
over
show?
again.
Say
the
it
dead
again.
Horses get chopped up.
Is there a dinner with a show?
Yeah, do we get to eat the horse? If we beat the horse, do we get to kill it and eat it afterwards?
Yeah, beat it.
Why?
Yeah, eat
Why
it.
is that-
That's
Why is that the way that I went
tagline.
with it? I don't even know.
I
Alrighty. Making a mental note, we're gonna revisit the horse laces at some
Yeah,
point in
yeah,
time.
yeah,
I say we get more
absolutely.
I'll put a
information
star.
on Mr. Woodsmith and his crimes and why I'm sure that this is a perfectly valid hanging with sufficient evidence.
I'll be honest, B is not a gambler, but she does want to get in on this game that we were originally going to get in on. Talk up
do that.
Caravan, possibly
Yes.
snag some dough, not using the most kind
B,
legal
you,
choices.
You
some
are
hot
like,
goss.
you're like, I just did my job. I did it. Time to gamble. You turn around to the table that is right behind you.
Like,
that you're
I'll
about to gamble.
multitask. I'll talk about
They
the
are
Caravan
looking
while
at
we name
you
this.
with a look of disgust. They are just like, ah, judging you super hard.
She's gonna just shrug and sit down at the table.
Okay. All right. Who, I guess the real question is not gambling right now? I think we should get that out of the way. Okay.
We're having a good
It
time.
doesn't have to take long.
I guess
We're watching.
I guess we are verbally. So for podcast listeners, both Violet, played by Allie, and
Hi.
Deep Rot, played by me, both raised our hands. We're not gambling.
Mhm.
And Emily and I are loot goblins, so
Yeah.
we're in.
Listen, when I
Interestingly-
play a rogue, I'm gonna take advantage of my stealth and sleight of hand
Can
skills
I?
monkeying.
Is there a place I can watch from that I might be able to see, like, the other folks' hands without looking too suspicious, even from a distance?
Allie, I definitely thought you were just gonna ask if there's a bathroom in the tower.
No,
You're like, is there?
there a
There's
bathroom.
like a bathroom around here.
Everyone else is playing games. She's just smoking a cigarette off in the back room. Yeah. If I can get a view of their cards, I would love that.
Just to kind of give you an idea, while they're gambling, Deep Rot's just going to be going to table.
Do you want to know how you're gonna die? Madame Ricole's coming to the edge of town.
Deep Rot, make a either performance or
Oh.
persuasion.
God. Well, I've got a much better persuasion, so we'll give it a shot. 12.
You're met with mixed reactions.
Perfect. That's honestly
At least
best
you
case
get at least
scenario.
one person that's like, yeah, I did.
90% of the time he gets nothing, so he's fine with it.
Someone asked the man named Barley over here when you get to him.
Barley?
He asked, do you do relationship advice?
They do, and I make a lot of the potions for Madame Ricole, so if your wife is not susceptible to psychology or fortune, then you can drug her.
I like that. Okay. I'll be around tomorrow.
We got another one, boys.
Yeah,
We're
it's like-
reeling them in.
The face of Allie's just shocked. Just, did you say that out? Yeah. All right. That's the end. So you can go back to gambling now.
I'm
Hey,
just amazed that
it's a
worked.
business. It's a business, man. Make me a perception check, deep rot. In addition to that, okay. So, B, you sit down at the table. Bonnie, what are you doing?
I am also sitting at the table.
For the first natural 20 of the campaign.
So, can I use 2,000 of my points to give you disadvantage, or 1,000? I think that's fair. I have quite a few saved up. I think I could do that.
I
Okay.
in turn
So-
give myself thousands of my points to give myself advantage, equaling each other out. So we'll go with my
There
roll.
you go.
Okay, that's fair.
Counter spell
That's
right
fair.
there.
Yeah.
Even in the fucking chat. Okay. You notice deep rot, and then we'll get to the gambling. Which I know everybody's waiting for.
Hell yeah.
This man here is you can tell he's interested in your group. He watches your group every so often, especially when I see you moving back closer. um you can see him watching. You don't know what his intent is, but you know that he's very interested.
Okay. Noted.
So, all right. So, Lisa, what were you doing? Were you
I'm
also
sitting at the
getting a-
table, but I'm less concerned about gambling and more I want to strike up a conversation with these people, which will hopefully serve to one, get me that hot goss, and two, act as a little bit of a distraction for my girl B to get some wins.
Get some swiping done.
I mean, that's the if you're looking for a black and white answer, there it is.
Okay.
Hot goss. Sitting down. Wow,
You're
can we
all
play a game? I would
perfect.
love to join with you guys. Also, what's this deal with this murder tomorrow? People are kidnapping? Oh my god.
This
that sounds
murder
crazy.
tomorrow? What's the deal with this
hanging.
murder
That's a little bit
Murder.
I don't know. I've heard that there's like a hang.
Heard of a
I feel like
murder?
we
They
came into
scheduled us
town
in
just
advance?
at the right time. We always roll into town and there's nothing exciting happening. And you guys have a whole hanging tomorrow. Things are happening around here. We're going to stick around a while. Anyway, deal me in.
Wow. Do you want to just say you said that in character, because that might save us some time?
That was all in character.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's
Deal
great.
me the cards.
Okay. So, for the purpose of otherwise it's going to take forever, we're going to do I mean, I guess we can call it a card game, but we won't do a card game, obviously, but it'll be pretty simple on our end.
I do want to
so-
say that I'm watching and trying to watch their cards from afar and messaging in B's ear if I notice anything that might be useful.
Nice.
Message
Well,
can't. Like,
You
hey,
better
jackass on
pray
the
that
right
there's
just
no
got a
one-
good hand. I don't.
You better pray there's no one in this fucking bar that can that like knows how to read minds or anything. Because anybody who intercepts that, we're gonna get our ass handed to us. We're gonna
Fine.
get walked out so quickly.
I'm being subtle.
Well,
I'm
just taking a little peek around the room. Does there seem like I feel like we've probably run
Oh,
this
is this a
before.
mistake?
So
Yeah.
So maybe we give a little peruse to be like, is there anybody who seems like any kind of magically inclined? Because it seems
That's
like a
good
bunch
point.
of
That's smart.
you said blue collar workers and things. Like there's nobody who's obviously like, hi, I'm the mage. I could be a problem.
You.
Yeah, I'm a low wisdom dumbass. I don't
But
know.
this
Make
is the
a-
kind of town, though, where a mage would
Well,
come across looking at like a regular old lumberjack, though. You know what I mean? Like this is not a town that would have a magey mage.
We've
Good point.
already learned that regular old lumberjacks are up to crazy things in this town, so who knows?
That's true. And their grubs are delicious. So make me a perception check, Bonnie. Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. So people sit down or are watching from afar. The two people there nod in acknowledgement, although they give a bit of a stink eye to B.
Hey, money's money, right?
But the guy says, "Hey, so you want to gamble a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. Sure. Let's say 5 silver buy-in.
She's
toss
gonna
5 silver
put
on the
5
table.
silver on the table. Yeah.
Okay. He looks a bit surprised that you guys did it so readily. You guys don't need to roll. You can tell he's like, oh, it's this kind of outsider that brings in a lot of money. Okay. He seems pretty sure of himself. So he puts out some cards on the table and deals them out. So what we're gonna do is everybody's gonna roll that's playing, including this guy, a 2d6 on a 7 or a 12, you win. And you can double your bet to add a 1d6 to your total. And we'll see who wins or who loses to decide the pot. So, if you want to use subterfuge, you can. And I'll let you add or subtract a number based on what you need and what your role is. Violet. Casting a spell will not innately be quiet. People will
Okay.
know you're doing something.
Yes, I was hoping I'd be far enough away and they're distracted enough. I don't know if I can.
If you
roll.
want to go like stand in the corner, you could.
What's if I know what kind of game they're playing, I don't know how much I can help, so I'll drop it.
Okay.
I'm watching very.
You're familiar with this game.
Intriguedly from afar,
But,
sipping
okay.
my drink. It is now bright pink and bubbly. If you notice.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't do that.
All
cheap
right.
whiskey shit.
Let's go ahead and roll.
I'll just make my own cocktail. Thanks.
He is planning on playing more than one round, probably just like 2, max 3. But so she's not going to use any like subterfuge for this first round because this is her like engaging. She's going to look for any tells, like see what's happening. You said 2d6.
Yep. On a 7 or 12, you win.
Oh, 7!
Oh, nice. Okay. The guy, we'll just say everybody's rolling dice. The guy rolls his dice, and you guys see the total comes up to 8. And he says, okay. And he will. Did you roll, Lisa?
Good.
I got snake eyes.
You can. So you're allowed to double your bet to roll another 1d6. You can also try some subterfuge if you want. I don't know what that'll look like, but you can try.
No, I'll go ahead and roll it again, and we'll see if at least maybe one of us can win. Maybe. Boom. 9. Eat that.
Was that you doubling the bet, or was that just you rolling again? Okay. Okay. 7 or 12. So, you would have anteed up another 5 silver. And you guys have the advantage because it all goes to B.
How much goes to me?
So you get your 5 back gold from Bonnie, and then 5 from the guy.
How much did Bonnie
5
put in?
silver. A gold.
I thought I
Okay.
doubled.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 10 silver. Yeah.
10 silver
Which
is
is
1
just
gold.
a gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. All right. You're welcome.
You had me
Yeah.
questioning my math, so.
I'd rather
One
go to
more.
B than go to some random NPC. This is fine. Anyway, so while he's distracted with that and we're having a rip-roaring time trading off money, I'm just like, man, so it's really crazy that there's this whole hanging thing tomorrow. It's like, do you know anything about the guy, or do you think you guys are gonna go watch? It sounds like a happening event.
Oh yeah, I'm going to go watch. Fuck that guy.
Oh,
They
big
say
feelings.
he's responsible for all of the disappearances. He hawks a loogie.
Ew. Gross. But
I
like,
wanna
what
watch him
kind of?
Swear.
But how certain are they that it's this particular guy? You know, how'd he get caught? Everyone loves a good caught story.
I don't know. They say they found him in his cabin in the woods with blood on the walls. I don't know, but I trust the captain of the guard.
And the captain of the guard? I keep hearing about this very handsome Nagby Boom fella. Is that him?
Well, clearly, we don't know the same Nagby because he is ugly as sin. And no, he's not the guy.
Please don't yuck my yum. All right, you don't know where it's fine.
If you like fat dwarves with disgusting hair.
Well, I certainly like you more than I like you in this moment. Anyway, so yes,
Yeah, what
that's
does this guy
Nagby. He's
look
the
like?
captain. That's what we've learned from this interaction.
Nagby is not the captain.
Oh, okay, he's not the who's the captain? Who's the captain? I'm just so curious. We're having a lot of fun in this town.
Captain Lothwian.
Yeah.
Please. Around. I'm sure you'll see him.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Anyway, we gonna do another hand or what?
Yeah, one more.
Yes, enough talking about dead men and dwarves.
He's soon to be dead. All right, he's still got another
Let
leg
him
left in him.
finish.
All right. Empty up.
Yep.
His dice come up another 8.
Oh.
Fuck. It's bad luck betting with outsiders.
I'm out on this one, by the way.
I'm gonna double up. And would I do roll one more d6?
Yeah.
I don't know how my other two split up. Uh
Add it all
You-
together.
Adam?
oh, haha! 12.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow. Okay. The guy just looks at your dice. It's like, all right.
What's that? 15 silver to me?
Thanks for playing.
Well, you don't want to do one more round?
I...
She does not actually want to do one more round, but will blatantly.
No.
Can't help but rub it
I
in.
can't. My wife wouldn't like it. I'd be fine with it. To be honest. Okay. Fine. One more round.
I'm so glad your wife.
Last
agrees.
one. This I will do Subterfuge if I lose this one. I would like it to be known right now.
Okay. 1 second. All right. So cool.
Got an 11. I went way over. I got nothing.
Okay. So
Unless how would I use subterfuge in the how would I be tricksy in this situation?
so his dice
You
come up
see-
7.
Actually, am I sitting close to him?
Pretty close.
Like pretty darn close. He has.
You see his dice come up 7. And he's like, that's it.
Do I have?
All
this is-
right. I'm glad
You
I
see-
tried again.
Bonnie's expression change a bit. And she kind of leans over and like taps B on the knee a little bit, like insistently. She's kind of giving one of these little like rapid taps.
How would we interpret this? As a he's cheating?
Sir,
Yep.
those dice of yours seem to be
They were my grandfather's.
they're beautiful. I
Thank you.
love an antique.
His
But
hand
they also
slides
seem
across
to
the
be
table
like
to take the thigh silver from.
I snag the dice from him while he attempts to snag the silver.
And
Hey!
Bee slams her hand down on his hand before he takes the silver
Ow!
away.
I roll the dice.
The hell?
Okay.
Do they
Roll
come up as a
2d6.
7? They're not weighted?
They do
Are
not
they-
come up as 7.
Well, I seem to be mistaken. I could have sworn this gentleman was trying to cheat you out of his money, but it seems to be the case that I don't.
Rob, I have a logistical question that is related to all of this. Could one say a tabaxi's tail could be used as a limb of sorts?
Depends what you want to use it for.
I want to try it and use it to pick his pocket while this is all happening.
Okay.
Just like
sleight of
curl
hand
it
at
around.
disadvantage. At
At
disadvantage.
disadvantage, but look at this big fuss happening.
No, you're lucky. At disadvantage. Go ahead.
And that was a natural one. I just have +6.
Okay.
But
So
it
Bonnie.
doesn't balance out with this like big commotion so that it's not at disadvantage, but it's also not at advantage.
But you're also across the table from him, right?
I thought you said I was near him.
Tail. You're not a monkey, but you
I am very discreet and delicate. Thank you, sir.
I don't know. You're a palace cat, and they have fluffy, chunky tails.
But think of how delicate those fluffy tails
So-
probably are.
this all happens at the same time. So Bonnie goes and yanks her hand down and takes the dice in a violent motion. And then B,
violent.
his hand is going across the table. B just goes bam, onto his hand. He yells out in pain. Your tail goes around his back and wiggles around on his body, feeling for a coin purse. You don't feel anything. You come up empty. And he seems very distracted. He didn't notice it, but you also didn't find anything.
Okay, I'll take that. That's fine. I can accept that.
He stands up and says, "Give me my dice." What do you think?
Can I take a look at the dice and get an idea of like, can I just take a quick little review to see if they might be worth anything? I mean, he said they're antiques. Are they like ivory or some shit?
Okay. Yeah, they look like nice dice. Sure, a pair of ivory 6s.
I'll tell you what. You go ahead and keep the 6, and we'll keep these. I think that's a fair trade.
The what? The
You
6?
keep your
What do you
the
mean by
silver,
6?
whatever.
The silver.
You keep
Okay.
the 5 silver.
That's not a
6
fair
silver,
trade at
whatever.
all.
I think it's an extremely fair trade during that little business that you were doing. And she does a little shimmy in the way that she knows will make the light
Your
glint
friend
off of
just
her
really hurt
silvery
my
maul.
hand. I mean, I think it's broken.
For the record,
Yes.
B did not use her claws. She just
I know.
smacked it down.
I need
Your hand was perfectly
compensation for
fine.
this. Look at it.
Oh,
It's dead.
I'm sincerely sorry that your hand was injured.
Is it his left or his right hand?
I'm glad
His
that we were
right.
able to put that behind us. It's really
bad.
important to me that we're able to have these kind of open communication and that you can communicate when you're hurt. And thank you for coming and telling us that you're hurt. Anyway, I'll be taking these now. Have a good night.
And I hear Madame Ricole has some great healing potions up at her caravan.
Wonderful healing potions.
He spits again, and the pair leave.
Ew. I really prefer if you didn't do that.
He's just gonna walk away now.
if you weren't a. He walks.
What? What did he call me? B, what did he call me? Did you hear what he said?
Did B hear what he said?
Oh yeah. I'll see you next Tuesday.
I thought we weren't allowed to say
No.
that on stream anymore. I
I
thought we had a
don't remember.
conversation about this.
Okay.
+1 ivory dice. Not too shabby.
Violet, make me a perception check. Go ahead, B.
I was just gonna say now B is perfectly content, even though she lost that last one because she won 2 and she had to like cause some mischief. So she's gonna walk back over to Violet and like take a big sniff of her new drink just out of pure curiosity.
Mine's a 19.
B goes over to sniff your drink.
Oh, it smells fantastic. Like passion fruit, I would say with I don't know. a
She
little
just
bit
like
of-
purrs a little, like she doesn't need to drink it. She just enjoys like sniffing it.
It smells great.
Deeprot will approach the man in the
Yep.
cloak.
Okay. He turns his attention away from the scene going on right now to you. And he seems like he's interested in talking. You can see he's an elf, handsome and tall, with sharp facial features, and wearing nice but plain uh, linen clothes.
Would you like to know how you're going to die?
Is it that you'll kill me?
No, unless you want me to.
No, not right now, but maybe my rent's coming due soon. So
You're-
depending
you're-
on how that goes.
You're too clean. You remind me of Violet.
I heard that.
He looks over, putting two and two together. Okay. Thanks. You guys are new in town, right?
What? Of course. I mean, we look nothing like any of the other people.
Yeah, I was being polite. Yeah, well, thanks for the drink. You guys are doing
Give him a thumbs
some
up
kind
over
of occult
guy's
stuff,
shoulder.
or
Yes, we have potions and readings and mystics abound.
okay. Yeah, yeah. I'll stop by. Just on the outskirts of town.
Yes. So,
Okay.
who do we get to thank for the who is getting executed tomorrow?
Um, it's our local lumberjack, actually. His name was Percy, or is Percy, I guess, still.
Did you know
The
him?
I did, yeah. We weren't friends, but um, I mean, he was a nice enough guy, kept to himself. People hadn't seen him around for a while, and the captain of the guard said that he's probably responsible for a lot of the disappearances recently. So
Your guards of the town seem frightful. They seem scared.
a lot of people are nowadays, I would say. Um, yeah, we need this town needs something. I've been trying with Paylor, but I don't think it's there's some kind of miscommunication because it just keeps getting worse.
Well, that's the problem. You fear death. Embrace it. Death is yet the next step in the journey.
Where do grubs come into the equation?
Grubs, they're an excellent source of nutrition. They have protein and fiber. You
Do
can
you
eat them. Of course.
You can, but do you?
Of course. Why would you not? They're delicious.
Great
they're
question.
They're plentiful, easy to hunt.
When we're alive,
That's
we
true.
eat them, and then when we're dead, they eat you.
It's
circle
the
of
circle
life.
of life.
You and I aren't too much different, except for all of this. But yeah,
Is whenever
Yeah.
he's saying all of this, is he like gesturing to his face or is he saying my face?
you're
Okay.
he's pointing to his face. He's implying you can tell that's yours.
Yes, I am not a human. I'm not an elf. I'm not a dwarf. I'm a kobold.
Good for you.
Mhm.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll stop by. Thank you for inviting me.
Wonderful. I got 2, you all. How many did you get?
How many people are looking at the notice board?
Nobody. All right.
And
Just put it up.
we played 2 rounds of
That's
dice
a
slash
long
cards.
con play. That's a long con play. You know that.
So my idea, I think we go to the hanging tomorrow, and then afterwards, when everyone is in a really celebratory mood, we're like, "Oh, come enjoy your day with readings and I don't know. What make it sound nice. Whatever people want after they watch someone get killed.
What more
We
could
do
you
have more
want?
flyers we could pass out there.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. People love a good hanging flyer.
What if we
We're
give a
just
reading
stressed.
to the man before
yes.
he hangs? As a little, here's what's coming for you in the future. Which afterlife are you going to make your way to? That might make a lot of people upset depending on their religious background. But
No,
I think
what
it
if-
would be quite a publicity stunt.
What if we say, okay, the cards have told us you're about to die, and then he dies, and everyone
It's perfect.
is like,
No one could ever doubt us.
they're gonna be like, wow, these people are geniuses.
They're gonna love it. Nicole's gonna love this. We should go tell her.
I could
We should make
also
sure she's ready to go by tomorrow.
I could animate his corpse and freak out the town members as well. That would be hilarious.
They would love
God.
that. I don't know anything about this town, but I know that they're in for a good laugh, and I think they would get a kick out of that one.
Also, you know what's better than one hanging? Two. Bring him back. You can do it again.
We can
Fair point.
hang him twice. He's like a,
It's a
like a twice
matinee.
baked potato. The first time was good. The second time will be
You know,
better.
you know, people might be in an even more celebratory mood if we stop by the general store, see if they've got some fireworks, some balloons,
Sparklers.
streamers. Pass those out with our
Streamers.
flyers.
We could stop by the graveyard and shop.
We could get a spot ready for him.
Let's do that on the way out of town after we've taken the money. Remember
These-
that rule. We can't have a
this
repeat of
town-
last time.
Okay.
we're not going to talk about last time.
Mm.
This town isn't going to know what hit it. Okay, we're in for a treat. We're gonna. Oh, we could set up little booths. We could just do the
Okay,
whole. We
okay.
just like some quick little setup trays, and then if people are like, "Oh, we're grieving," we could be like, "We can help with that. Here's my snake oil. It totally fixes grieving."
I could offer to help find the missing folks. Pay me 10 gold. I'll go look around. Not gonna find them because they're probably dead, but
I see, and I feel okay. On the topic of the missing folks, there's kind of like a lot of them. I don't know
Oh,
if you
are
saw that
there?
little sign. Yeah, no, that
no,
seems like there's
only,
like
our signs on the board now. I missed
Yeah,
everything else.
What signs?
the signs that were there before you hung up the posters.
Oh, there
The
were
signs for all the missing people.
The camera pans over to a flyer falls off and floats to the ground.
You can see just the little like corner of one
Behind
piece
us, like,
hanging
have you
out.
seen my child?
Yeah, there was like
It was
a
just
lot of like
peeking out.
missing like dogs and children, and there was just a whole bunch of them that were out there. But
Isn't
You
that why
know,
they're
I mean-
killing the lumberjack? Because he took them?
Well, that's certainly what the rumor mill says
Well-
is happening.
seems fair.
I just feel okay.
Why
I
don't
just
we
feel a
investigate that
little
tomorrow?
bit. I just feel like maybe the guards of this town, as we've kind of seen with Negby Boom, maybe aren't the best.
They're very fearful. I can smell fear on them.
So we
What
can
does it smell
smell
like?
fear on them. We also know that they're giving bad advice, trying to get us to leave town. I just kind of get the sense that maybe these guys aren't like totally up to the job of like finding an amazing kidnapper, and that maybe they would benefit from a little bit of additional assistance. If we can just, I don't know, verify that this guy actually committed the crimes that he's being accused of, because I really
Easy.
don't trust the detective work
Easy.
of these guys.
Oh yeah, no.
Pretty
What if they
easy.
did it?
I mean,
what
we
if
could
it's a
probably knock that
scandal?
out.
They're covering it up.
A
Nancy
cover
was
up?
behind it all.
That's almost certainly the case. Yes.
Well, I think we go. We sell our wares. I would love to find someone who got kidnapped, dead or alive. We can have a good chat with them, see what happened.
Let's
Maybe,
not
do a
be
good deed.
let's not be hasty about getting him removed from death. Let's let him go ahead and get hung before we.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
And
mean,
then, once we solve the real kidnapper after his death, he'll be made a martyr. His family will love that.
Is there
Exactly.
You think
anyone
he
around
has
while this
family?
conversation is happening?
no.
We're for the sake of the campaign, we're gonna say you guys are at least on at a table instead of shouting across the bar.
You mean
Yeah.
right at the bar talking across it?
Yes.
I think we could probably say that we've left and we're headed back to Ricole's, maybe.
That's
Late at night.
That's very bold of you to say that because I had
In that case, I don't say that. We're sitting at
okay.
a table.
No,
Yeah,
narrator voice RJ.
I
Rob,
had,
yes,
I throw a
that's his
javelin.
name.
I had Violet make a perception check
Oh.
earlier.
Well, what was the one you messaged me about one, and that was a
Oh yeah,
natural
that was
one.
this catch that guy cheating. So
Oh,
but
but this one was a 19.
yes, you see in the corner
Mm.
over here they've kept themselves and they haven't really looked around, but occasionally they've casted glances at your group as they've made a ruckus. It is a pair of half elves, clearly related but separated by a generation or two. One is older. What's it? An older man with gnarled joints, grasping a flagon of ale. It shakes gently in his hands. It's clear he's an outdoorsman. He wears warm clothes, and the bottoms of his boots are muddy and caked in filth.
I cleaned it so
The
bad.
other
Guilty.
half elf, also a man, sits next to him, nothing in front of him. Younger, but much more stocky and built, wearing a tank top, white, almost see-through, and also has equally muddy boots. They've looked at your group a few times now, with a look of cautious disdain on their faces.
Does the one in the see-through tank top look like he just came from clubbing? Because that is the picture in my head right now.
Like a wife beater. A wife beater that's not
I
very
like
thick.
your idea better.
I also like my idea better.
I also like Emily's idea.
Well, we all agree on it.
Reality is what you make it.
Overruled.
We have quorum, so I guess that's canon now.
Does he have
Overruled.
like a glow
Motion passes.
stick necklace around his neck with a pacifier hanging from a string? Like neon paint streaked across his fit. No.
Just no.
Okay.
So what are these nerds doing?
They are just sitting in their corner drinking. So the perception check was noticing them. You make a mental note of their
They're there.
appearance.
Oh.
B is I'm just curious what the reaction is. Like B is not the person who perceived this, obviously, but she's gonna just start walking around, dropping some flyers on the tables, whether they have people at them or not. Do they have any sort of reaction when she puts them on their table?
No, and when Deep Rot also went around doing his shtick, they waved him off. They didn't seem interested.
Did they take the free drinks that I had?
They did.
Passed around? Okay.
The one in front of the younger half elf is untouched, but the
Okay.
older one is drunk.
Oh, he's sober. Good for him. Oh.
We have
Okay.
minutes left. So are we gonna fight these guys or what? I pull out my
Cool.
maul.
Combat
No,
time.
we head back to the caravan. Let's attempt
Okay.
to leave the tavern.
Attempt.
You guys walk back out of the tavern. It's now fully nighttime. Crisp night air embraces you. And as you begin to walk down the empty streets of the town back to the caravan, you can see the fire in the distance, flickering gently out from the plains. You hear a sound, almost the same as Deep Rot's yell earlier, but this one is far more simple and guttural. In the distance.
I'm sorry. Is that a dog?
Take it again.
It's a wolf
Is
owl.
that a cat?
Sorry, I couldn't quite get that. Can we get that one more time, please? Very beautiful. Thank you.
Howling in the distance from the direction of the forest. And that is where we'll end the session. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on our first foray into the world of the Caravan of the Peculiar. Things have been set in motion already, although I don't know if the party has caught on to it yet. They probably have. They're pretty smart. I'm really excited. Everyone did a great job playing their characters. In next session, we'll see a man die, hopefully once, maybe twice.
Who knows?
Thanks for coming, guys.
Woo!
Love you
All right,
guys.
everybody.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.